So, you spend the night. What?
I just saw in chat. Someone said Baroot is a bit of a horn dog. Oh, that was you who said that.
Yeah.
Someone said it.
Sorry.
When, I mean, is there absolutely anything else you wanted to do during the night?
I don't know, Baroot. Is there anything else you wanted to do during the night?
You gonna give Grandma an old...
Oh.
No. No. He specifically told me not to fornicate in front of the
I'm gonna
children.
go back for
Moths!
dessert.
I'm being attacked! Get out of here. It's a jumping moth. Get out. Go away. Stop it. Get some help. Alright.
Nope. Merrick is passed the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't like moths. They spook me. And they like me, apparently. They like my
Never
tasty
come to
blood.
Australia.
Yeah, your stories make me not want to ever go to Australia. You are like an anti-advertising campaign for Australia. This moth he's actually like doing attacks that Sonic does. He's just like he's on my dice bag now. Anyway,
Close it up.
I will say, before we go to bed, I will heal myself with the poison that I often do.
Yep, as
So I
you
don't wake up
should.
hungover.
Yep. Everyone else wakes up hungover. You probably just sort of end up sleeping on the ground by the fire, where you can actually see some of the stars through the tree canopy and the roots, but not absolutely all of it. When you do wake up, you wake up feeling very renewed. None of you feel hungover, actually. You feel a strength inside you that when you do stand, you feel almost one with the ground that you stand on, and you'll wake up with 6 temporary HP.
Oh.
This just
How do I do
furthers my
temporary on the
desire to protect that scroll at all costs. This is an artifact.
How do I do temp HP on this thing?
You just
do your current hit
There's a
points.
spot
There's a
for
spot,
temp HP below your
HP.
current hit points.
Oh, there is.
There is.
Totally.
Yeah, because temp HP doesn't work like HP, so.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I see it.
You said 6, right? Cool.
I squished it. I squished them off. I know you shouldn't,
Rip.
but I did. So, you wake up feeling stronger, feeling slightly empowered. What is your course of action?
I'm gonna
in that drink.
Find the elder.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm gonna find the elder.
It doesn't take very long. He's in that chamber that they showed you to their Tobias. Him and the younger druid as well. They kind of seem to be meditating together, like side by side, with a comfortable space between them. And when you walk in, one of his eyes open, and the other one does, and he starts pulling himself up with some cracks from his back until he stands way above all of you and just looks down, expecting.
Well, I think we would like to make good on our promise to deal with that exile for both your culture and ours.
Rovolg is deep in the forest, but the forest does not appreciate his presence. The blessing will guide your feet, but be warned, the lands he claims are tainted by his sinful worship, and they... And he just stops.
Ominous.
With that in mind, I suppose we'll be on our way. And
He'll do it back.
and
And you
turn to
walk-
the party.
You just sort of walk out of the village. As you do, that sort of feeling where you're like, I know what way to go. Sort of pops into your minds. You kind of know, you even without really thinking about it, as you're walking out of the village, you just sort of start walking in a direction. And it more or less feels right. But, regardless, this is a deep, old forest where the direction you start to go, it gets darker. The trees sort of grab at themselves and each other and make very little light come down below. Even things like mushrooms and stuff start to grow more in the gloom. Maybe even some plant life that Virik is more used to that grow in dark places. You start to travel into this deeper, more troubling route where, as you're walking, again, Tobias, you get that sensation that sort of tingles up your spine, and you look as you see that lightning from those same creatures you saw before, very similar, sort of a very like yellowish light that's cast off it, sort of strikes into a tree that's standing like many of the other trees, and it starts to snap and move, and as a mouth is almost burnt into it, you hear the same voice you heard before say, "Leave my forest!" in Giant. And, well, you can either roll initiative or you can run away from it. Which is up to you.
I will say loudly back to this voice, "This forest does not belong to you."
It seems pissed.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
And at this point, I'm going to show you a battle map, and we're going to roll some initiatives.
Wait till the new one.
All right.
Yeah,
Time to lay on the ground for a bit again.
Yeah, this is where we don't get close, stay away, but they're super fast. This is a problem.
Nuh-uh, don't get close. All right. Now you can give me some initiatives.
That's like a terrifying
That's
thing.
that's a bigger one. That's a much bigger one. Oh my god.
Tree.
Oh, the entire tree. Oh, lovely.
The entire tree starts to move.
Oh, great.
Oh, sorry,
Oh.
that's too small.
Oh.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
No need to apologize.
Okay. Let's hope this one.
I'm
doesn't
glad we
explode.
lined up directly straight for this.
Yeah.
You're
let's
traveling.
hope this-
Unless you say otherwise, I get to choose.
That's true. Yeah.
The most sensible way to travel through forest are like thick with roots and things.
Yep. I'm totally fine with being completely in the back.
That's why I put you there, because I figured that would be where you would be. Tobias,
Yeah.
you say that back, and as it starts, the whole tree is starting to sort of move, and it doesn't really make itself a humanoid form like the ones you saw before, but some of the branches just snap from the canopy and start sort of swinging downwards. It starts uprooting itself in the ground with great effort.
Okay.
Go free to attack.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on it. Then I'm going to take out my bow and shoot him. Maybe. Hopefully.
That is a hit.
Okay.
Not
He has my
DC
AC.
14?
I'm surprised.
Are you sure?
I guess he's
9
big.
damage.
He's a big lad. He's a big target. That is going to be a nice clean hit as you just sort of you shoot the thing with an arrow in the
Move off to
head
the right.
region.
And that is my turn.
It is then going to start moving.
Uh-oh. Please tell me it's slow. Oh no!
Virik.
Okay. Let me do a ruler thingy. So that's square. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, if that's okay.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna throw the boomerang, and let's hope nothing terrible happens. I'll
That's a
take it.
Not let's hope it hits. Let's hope nothing terrible happens.
Every time I rolled a natty 1 with the boomerang, horrible things have happened.
Yeah, you throw it at the thing, it just sort of springs chunks out of the bark, and you catch it again.
1,
Clean.
2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. That way.
Barut.
Well, I'm going to move.
This cuts off some of my head. I need to change that.
Over here.
I don't want my head to be cut off.
And
If I can help
Yeah.
it.
It's usually a good
kind of a
rule.
lifetime goal, actually.
yeah.
So it
I'm
costs
not
spells,
going to do any attack yet. Instead, I'm going to use my action to move a little bit more
Yeah.
and stand right there.
Okay, Eleanor.
I'm just gonna charge it. It's not a good idea, but I jumped wisdom, so it's fine.
Can we all? Everyone but Brood. dump
Everyone but
wisdom.
Rude is not very wise. That is a hit.
And I will re-roll that one.
Go ahead. You earned it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's much nicer.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, you just run up, and as it's sort of like still moving its massive legs, you just like carve into the thing, and ultimately, it's a tree. It's made of bark. You've chopped trees down for breakfast.
Weird breakfast.
She's northern. Tobias.
That's where you get the maple syrup.
Yeah.
Do not need to cut the tree down, mind you. You just need to make an incision in it, and then you can drain the syrup with a proper...
There's actually a place in Jarviskjir that the whole reason the town exists is maple industry.
Good.
Still on that episode.
That's gonna be.
Yep. That's a hit.
None of us want to get close.
Well, Eleanor does.
Awesome.
I'm gonna move
You-
there.
You shoot it with another arrow. Yeah, ultimately, arrows in trees, they do pierce in, like the last one did, but it is a tree.
Right. And then I'm gonna put my bow on my back and use my bonus action to draw a sword.
Mm.
That is my turn.
It is going to do what you would expect a tree to do, and sort of try to stand on her.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say where it is for the rest of its life, but
Yeah, well, you know, that too.
And it does hit,
Oh.
but it's one of those things where you see it lift, instead of like swinging at you, like lifting its foot, and you're like, oh no. But it moves quite slowly, so you manage to move mostly out of the way. It does trap your leg and deal 5 bludgeoning damage to you, but you manage to sort of pull yourself away enough. That it doesn't really hurt as much. Very good.
Okay, let me do okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna boomerang. Yeah, I'm gonna boomerang. And ooh,
Yeah.
I assume that's a hit. Sweet.
Yeah.
And then go to catch the boomerang. And I do catch it because I hit.
Boomerang bounces off and sends sort of splinters as it hits the tree, smacking some of the branches and things. I mean, you're mostly aiming for where this face has started to appear in it, which is still growing more and more and starting to grow sort of a more giant-y visage. Yeah.
Vir checks the tree before he stands next to it.
Doesn't have a face.
No face? Face?
No face. Barut.
Good.
I am going to move up to it and swing at it with my longsword, which I do not hit it with, despite it being a very large tree.
If you hit, you don't do any damage.
Yeah.
Eleanor.
I am going to hit it. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, you don't know that, but you do. My
And
cold
you know
brew
what?
coffee isn't
I'm
cold
gonna
anymore.
smite it as well.
Smite the tree.
I'm gonna smite the tree.
Save the animals. I was watching a bunch of videos on speedrunning last night. I have no interest in speedrunning, but that's what I was doing with my time. You sort of, I imagine you swing your sword into the cleft you've already created, and as you do, you channel that power of the north winds, but just sort of as you bring back and even slice it again, the whole tree as it's moving, and it's still been slowly moving this whole time, just sort of good. And actually, like, a bird's nest falls out and stuff like that. It's a tree that's moving. Tobias.
Okay. Using my master plan, which was getting behind it, is it flanked now?
With big
Be able to
creatures,
draw
you have to be able to draw a line through it. And you absolutely are.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use my item interaction to pull out my second short sword and start hacking away.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
Damn.
that's 9, 6 plus Hunter's Mark. Is that much damage?
Yeah, that is a lot of
24.
damage as you start swinging, and you do something very smart. You start attacking the vectors that on the direct opposite of where Aelinor is, and just start basically starting to create like a hole that will eventually reach the middle, and eventually fell the tree. It's a big tree, but it might just work soon.
I should not be standing on the side of this thing.
It's the North folk. We all like cut down a tree.
What's actually going to happen then is you become aware of more of those lightning creatures to appear from the north. They get a little Nisharino, which of course is amazingly good because they're fast. I need to move it down so I can actually add a
Oh,
turn.
lovely. These things are going to kill me again.
Oh, I mean, here's hoping. And they actually gonna act before the tree. They're gonna start running. Let me zoom out a bit so the chat can see them as they run around, because that's what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Hello, friends.
Oh, dear.
But they don't do any sort of actions. They spend their entire turn running, and they kind of run, they kind of tumble. At some points, they even seem to just sort of like leave the ground entirely and sort of float for a bit before like running again. The tree is going to attack Aelinor, who is very much hurting the tree, and it doesn't like that. I'm going to use my green dice for the tree. I've been
Sorry.
using a red dice, but hopefully this is going to be more thematic. It hits. It's got a big attack modifier. It is a tree. It is going to hit for 15 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch!
As this time, it does stomp you. And with like sort of all of its weight, just be like... And when it lifts the foot up, it thought it completely squished you. You are just like Loki in the Avengers, just like... Virik.
So seeing this little fucker just come out of nowhere and come say hi, I'm gonna stab it in the face.
You do.
That's a hit.
Okay. You know what? I do not want this thing to hit me once because I remember what happened last time, so I'm going to do flurry of blows.
Good, so it'll only hit you when it explodes.
I mean, if it's going to
Both of,
explode
That's a
anyway.
hit. And then look at their run. There's also a hit. For a very consistent damage. And it doesn't fall. You sort of start punching at it, very careful to not sort of actually get lightning on you. You don't know how it works. You know it hurts.
Oh, I know it hurts.
And with that, Brute.
Okay. I'm going to move here and quickly cast Cure Wounds on Aelinor for 11.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to continue back here. And that is my turn.
Aelinor,
Yeah, I was gonna heal myself, but now I can
you've
attack.
been healed for 11. I imagine that's also like Groot helping you get back up and
Nice.
then.
Yeah.
So I did crit, so of course I'm going to smite as well.
Of
On top of
Of
it.
course,
Yeah.
it's the only way. It's what paladins do.
It is. So
There are 2 2s in there
there's
as well.
one,
Oh,
and here's the other one.
I mean, you're gonna chop the tree down. That's what you're doing, right?
One. How many do I have to reroll? There's 2 and 2, so I'm gonna
oh my
reroll.
god.
No, you get to. Yeah, you go ahead. Just so we can count how much damage you did on one turn.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
I
reroll
moved
one of the
away from the tree.
one of the d8s is gonna be a reroll because it's a 1. That's 5 more damage. And then one of the 2s is gonna be rerolled as well. There's an extra 1 on top of that. So it's an extra 6 on top of what I already rolled, which was
Okay. You don't re-roll the smites. Remember?
no.
Yeah, you asked and I said no. And you were like,
Oh, okay, that's right. I did ask for it again.
But it doesn't matter because you overkilled this thing by like 20 points. So, describe just a brutal destruction of this thing, please.
So I take a step back and I charge forward at it,
Oh.
like throwing my shoulder into it to get a better hit, and then I just cleave my sword right through the middle of it.
And the tree falls. It falls this way, not crushing anyone. Yeah,
There's a reason I moved.
and it's like a. It's a good
I'm
one.
like facing the little one. I'm like, like holy shit.
And next up is Tobias.
Okay.
Welcome to my life.
I mean, these guys blow up when you hit them, so it's just a bad time. I'm just gonna attack. I'm gonna move my hunter's mark onto this one directly above me, and I'm gonna attack him with.
That's how you do it.
That was not meant to be an advantage. Hold on. There we go.
We're getting better with it.
We are.
Every time you do it, I'm gonna make a Jim face at the camera. Okay.
It's funny
that's
because
it.
I used to be the one that was terrible at it. Now I'm good.
I actually missed my advantage, and I rolled a 20 anyway, so
Oh wow, yeah, you did.
it worked out.
That's
That is
true.
9 damage on this one above me.
Mm-hmm. You also hit the first attack.
Oh, I didn't. I used my bonus action to.
Oh, Hunter's Mark.
That was
That's
me
true.
re-rolling because I rolled with advantage by
That's
a mistake.
true. Yes.
But yeah, that's my.
Ignore me. I'm a big stupid. Next up is the little stupids.
Oh
One
no.
is going to attack Virik,
Okay.
which is going to hit because Virik has no AC.
Yep. Yep.
4.
Great.
I'm on a different page.
Now I gotta kill this thing before its electricity kills me. I wonder if I can try and kick it away with my unarmed strike. Just boot.
So it hits you for 8 lightning damage, and again, that lightning clings to you. It clings
not
to
again.
your clothing. Tobias.
Don't forget about those temp hit points.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
10
that's
HP.
right.
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot
I
all
did
about
forget
those.
Tobias, this one, like, you saw these things before, but you never got attacked by one, and you know they explode, so you're trying to be kind of careful. But when it does just sort of graze you, like the lightning sort of catches onto your arm, dealing 5 damage, and it sort of, again, it clings there, constantly sparking and burning. This one is gonna...
It was rolling real good to kill me. You got 5, I got 8.
run up to Barun. Doesn't get to act. Rurik.
Okay, I'm going to stab it. Because Oh, actually, I want... No, I'm going to stab it. I need this thing to die.
That's a good hit.
Okay.
Give me a dex save.
Oh, okay, yeah, but it's done. I should have done with the other thing I was thinking of doing. Fuck. Okay. Hey.
Alright, you still take half damage. Don't think you're getting away with this so easily. You take 4 lightning damage as the thing, you shoot it, you stab it. And like the last ones before, there's a moment of shock, which you kind of like climb up the tree a bit enough to so it's like you get caught in sort of the energy, but not directly electrocuted.
So the things where I'm proud of stabbing, I'm like, yeah. Oh fuck. Start climbing.
And next up is, are you gonna move?
Yeah, no, I'm up at the tree at the moment. So
Oh, Burrit.
I like that.
I'm gonna just move to the side of this guy here, giving a nice clean opportunity for someone to come in and stand somewhere.
What?
And-
What? No. What? No.
And then
you
I'm
can't do
gonna
that.
swing with my longsword
That's against the rules. That's a hit.
for
Which is
2
also
damage
against the
because I'm
rules.
bad at hitting.
Got him.
I was gonna say you should be using cantrips, but I don't think Barut has any offensive cantrips. Because
Nope.
he's a knowledge cleric.
He is a knowledge.
Eleanor.
That's
Gonna make it hard. Don't worry, everyone else hits hard enough that it's okay to have a just brick.
Yep.
But I know, Warren, that I know you left that opening for me, but I'm not going to do that.
I know.
Instead,
It's okay.
I'm going to climb on top of this one if I can, and I'm just going to shout out to the remaining ones. Your leader is dead. If you stay, you will die with him. Take this opportunity to leave.
You can give me an intimidation roll.
Thank you.
Nice.
Do they speak?
Oh,
You've heard them speaking primordial.
No,
I say it in giant.
Yeah.
Okay.
They stop for a moment before continuing, just because loud noise.
It was
Next.
quite loud.
It was
Alright,
loud, and that's a bonus action. With those
That was
sort
a
of
bonus action?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
if
Okay.
you're doing like a skill check to try and do something, I usually have it be a bonus action depending on the importance. Is that the one by Barut?
Yeah.
That's a hit. You gonna make it explode all over him? No.
No.
Tobias.
Yeah. I'm gonna teach this one not to take his eyes off of his enemy, even if there is a loud noise, and try to hit him with 2 short swords.
Hell of a mod.
Those are hits. As you deal 69 damage. Give me a dex save.
Nice.
Oh, rip.
Oh, I dropped one of those dice, but it landed on a 3. You still take half damage, which is 3.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just like ready for it. I'm just like, yeah, I understand. Just zap me.
Yeah. Exactly. The last one is going, and because you killed the thing, the electricity just sort of sparks out around you. The next one is going to attack our baby boy, Barut.
What a surprise.
I know, right? But it's one of those things where you just sort of have your shield out and it's just sort of like grabbing at it.
We need a bigger shield.
Could get a tower shield. Maybe I'll finally decide what rules I want to use for tower shields. They've shown
That'd
up
be
many
good.
a time. Different rules every time.
We've talked about this. This is
Very-
why I didn't use one.
Oh, okay, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm gonna boomerang it.
Boomerangus.
Hey.
There's a hit on the little dude.
And then catch the boomerang. I don't
He's
catch the
gonna
boomerang.
explode, Barut.
The
Give me your
explosion
dex
throws the boomerang
save.
away.
Oh, laddie, you pass. You still take 4 damage.
From the temp HP, correct?
Yeah, if you have temp HP, then that goes first.
Cool.
And with that, sort of the little buggers are down, and this last electricity sort of dies in both their bodies and the trees' bodies, and it falls quiet.
Not wanting
okay.
to mess up my swords or have anyone else have to mess up their swords, I'm going to take out one of the stone scimitars we got from those elemental guys and just start hacking off the head of this giant tree creature.
Doesn't really have a head.
It
has a face.
This is probably...
I mean, do we want to cut the face out? Because we need to bring the head back, right?
Is this him?
I don't think this is him.
This is not him?
I feel like this is just a giant tree that we killed.
Yep.
Oh, well, now I just feel bad.
Well,
Like you're a couple of hacks
You're like
in.
hacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
does that feeling of like knowing where we need to go, does that dissipate, or is it
No.
continuing on?
Still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on.
Cool. Let's.
Okay. I collect my boomerang.
As you should.
Yep.
And you start continuing to travel. As you do, you get deeper. That was really the last area of this that was sort of above ground, but you never really go underground. You just go under a level of root cover that sort of twists and gnarls and blocks out most of the sunlight, giving you dim light that's enough to pass, to walk around with. But it's hard to see, and you slow down some degree, but then Tobias is like, no, this is where we're going to walk. This is how we're going to walk. It gets much more cave-like down here. Wherever this Planavar Rovolg made his home is just away from what the other Planavar seem to enjoy, the actual sort of nature and the forest itself, where animals could be. This is just dark and dank, and some walls are stone cover, some walls are this twisted roots, some are just compacted earth. Most of it seems to be natural, maybe some parts burrowed by a very large creature. You continue walking and walking until you see Tesh, till Virik sees, because you can see beyond everyone else in this dim light.
Yep.
A opening. Again, another sort of chamber at the end, but this is not deliberate. It just seems to be an open area where the centerpiece appears to be a tree struck by lightning quite some time ago. And it's still glowing, in fact, with some embers and light. Give me a perception check, Virik.
Okay.
Seems like a tree.
Yep, looks like a tree. It's a glowing tree. Completely normal.
Rocky chamber in there.
So we got a glowing tree. I don't know what that means. Should we get closer?
I mean, is it glowing the same way the little things are glowing?
It's glowing like it was struck by lightning, and then just sort of the embers of it, you know?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, should I stealth ahead a little? Just a little, not too far.
Are you going to bring more of those little lightning creatures back with you?
Touche, okay. I stay with the group then.
You don't say.
I will kind of periodically like do this as we walk.
It's still a little unsettling because one of the men you're walking with sets it off. Just a little. But you don't sense anything deeper in the...
Yeah. Imagine if you had that on when I did any of my key point spends.
Mm-hmm. It would not bode well for you, probably. But yeah. So what's about you going to sneak ahead?
No, I'm not.
You're just going to all walk forward together
I think so.
as a party? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
When you do, when Tobias and Aelnor, who are walking side by side because it's a tight area, but you're like, well, this is You know, it is a lightning-struck tree in a cavern at the end of a tunnel. When you all start walking forward together, you then see that same giant you saw when you were at the annual festival, who seemed to be moving over from one of the side chambers with that great long sort of axe staff. He is coated in plant life, just like all the Planavar. They have their thick fur that's over most of their body just has plant life all over it. And he is a muscled titan of a creature that, as he moves closer, grows again to this humongous size that is as high as the cavern is. And he just booms down at you all. Leave my forest or face the storm.
How do you say this guy's name again as the Planavar said it?
Grulvolg.
Grulvold?
Grulvolg.
Grulvold?
Grulvolg. You're an elf.
Grulvold? Yeah.
The closest you can get.
Yeah. I would say, Grulvolg, why were you exiled?
Give me a persuasion check.
Also, is this still within the hour since the last combat, or is it longer than that, do you think?
It would not be. It actually wouldn't have been longer than an hour. You say that, and this grin appears. And while you were hanging out with Planavar, they're different, but they're people. This is one of the moments you remember that these are very different creatures. His teeth, some of them are sharp. They are terrifying looking. Even some saliva drips from his mouth and drops onto the ground. And he goes, "Let me show you!" And smashes it down on the ground again. And twisting through from away from the staff, plant-like creatures like the ones you saw before start to emanate from the walls, where there are twisted roots for them to come from. Yeah. One
Oh
moment.
my god, he's big.
He is big. He's a big boy.
He's a very big boy.
I like his face.
He's a Planavar.
Got a kind face.
Is this looks like the artwork you did for the dude with his hand cut off with the blade.
Yeah. And as he does that, these creatures start coming from the wall, the same ones you saw coming from the brambles at a great speed. And at this point, roll initiative. Roll initiative. And this is one of those things where, of course, you can keep talking to him during initiative, but he's certainly going to attack you. They certainly going to attack you. Yeah. And you know what? It'll probably work out pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no.
Now, I actually need to find him in the book.
Oh. Well, I was going to stealth, and then he rolled a 91.
Yeah, well, hey, natty one, screw us all.
You don't screw me, I'm the best.
I think Eleanor's the only one who hasn't rolled a nat 1 yet. That's
Give it time.
correctly.
Yeah, give it time.
Yep.
The party
Give it time.
that way.
You are muted,
Oh,
Aaron.
muted.
Yep. I think I rolled for my attacks. I
Yeah.
kind of remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think
Those
you
are
have
par
for
for the course.
attacks, but like the worst ones are always the ones when you're trying to do something, and it's
I
like,
know.
oh,
It's like, oh, this is so cool.
Do I find any treasure? You find enemies.
yeah.
Very, very cool.
Or in
So
your case, do I find any
We're in
berries?
dim light down here, right?
You are in dim light, but they can't.
Okay.
I can't do that on roll 20. But you are in dim light.
Because
Alright.
just I can't see anything on my token.
Oh,
You should be able to see
okay.
Oh, now I can.
Twig creatures
Oh my
are going to
God.
start running.
It's super bright now.
Man,
Yeah. But you just gotta remember it's dim. That's all I can really
He
do.
rolled real well.
And the twig creature just like even before you could really react, Tobias just sort of grabs and jumps to your arms and just starts biting and gnawing and clawing, dealing 3 points of damage.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
This other one is going to try and do the same, but you kick that one away. They're very small.
Get out of here.
Get.
Varric.
Oh, hi.
Yep.
How much damage do I take?
One moment, I'm looking it up. Of all the monsters, I can sort of remember their attack modifiers off the top of my head and be like, oh, that's definitely a hit, that's definitely not. But this one...
Ever miss? Oh no, you did miss me once in that last
Your AC's a 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually that one does miss.
Holy shit.
And this one that comes next to Aelinor is also a miss. He is going to just sort of bring his staff axe back up and just start laughing. Just a sort of... Actually take a step back even. Tobias.
Okay. I don't have Hunter's Markup anymore, which is fine. Let me... Yeah, okay. Can I move through the space where these little guys are? Because they're small.
You can move through them, but they still do get attack of opportunities.
Yeah. That's fine.
The way I do tiny creatures is you can be and they can be in each other's spaces and stuff like that.
Alright, I will just look to this large guy. Stealing myself, trying to remember that this might be an illusion. And I will look up to him and just say, you're not the only one who commands the storm around here. And I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike as
Yeah!
a bonus action.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm going to immediately use the spell part of it so I can move 60 feet this turn and I don't provoke attacks of opportunities. And I'm going to attack him with advantage.
Please do.
I'm going to move to the opposite side of him.
Oh yes.
And attack him with a short sword.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then he's going to take an extra d8 on top of whatever damage this rolls. Which is just one. But yeah, so
Just
11.
one. So what immediately happens? You run behind him. As you do, he starts turning, and you just sort of stab inwards. But you don't hit anything at first. Then you feel a cut in the middle, and immediately he drops down to a planet
Oh.
of a normal size. Like it sort of rescends back into himself and just growls.
I'll
turning
just
at you.
look at him and like kind of clang my swords together. Be like, your trickery doesn't fool us. And that's my turn.
Awesome. Varric.
I'm a stab at it.
Please do.
It's a little, out of character. You're just gonna stab at
Yeah,
it.
a little out of character to stab at the thing that's troubling you. Okie dokie.
And then I'm
that
gonna
is a
punch
hit.
it.
And the damage. And that's also a hit.
Yeah.
So when you stab at it, I mean, like a lot of the creatures you've been fighting recently, they kind of don't like you can cut arms off and nothing really happens. Then you just sort of crunch it, and it falls into again just splinters of wood on the ground.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Next up is Aelinor, who just had a nice flanking position opened up for them.
Yes, and I will take advantage of that.
Advantage. You'd actually take the advantage of that.
Remember when I said that we were getting better at this?
Yeah, that was just a lie. There was nothing true about that. And we knew
I'm
it.
getting better at it.
And the worst part is, I have a game tomorrow. It doesn't have flanking rules.
Oh, you see
And I'm
that?
going
That's
to be
where
That's
the
the
issue is
problem.
that I use
Yeah.
flanking rules, other people don't. That's a hit.
Okay.
This thing.
I'm gonna reroll the hits. It's in half anyway. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna move over here.
One gets.
No, he doesn't.
Because I've got actually a bit of lag right now on my roll 20, and it actually looked like you were
Yeah.
going to keep going, and then you moved like diagonally. Awesome, Baru.
I'm also going to take advantage of the fact that a flanking position has opened up for me.
There's a new
And,
flanking position at the store.
And I'm going to swing at it with my longsword.
Please
19
do. Yes.
For 2 damage because I've been consistently rolling all my damage today.
You hit it. Give it a shave and a haircut.
Yeah,
Consistently rolled.
that'll
one
be
on that.
10 gold, please.
Wow!
It's a very steep price.
It's a very steep price. That's 5 years' wages.
Yep. Look,
Dang.
if you're gonna get a cleric to cut your hair, you know it's gonna cost you.
Great haircut, though.
What's your
Oh,
AC again, Mr. Barut?
15.
It hits you. That's what happens. You know, you hard it hards you back for 3 damage, piercing.
Okay.
And then another one. That actually doesn't do damage. And then after it attacks, it's going to move into flanking because they're dumb little plant creatures. Next up is Ruvolg. Can you give me a wisdom save, Tobias?
Maybe. I sure can.
He sort of gives this big smirk as you run up to him after the moment of like sort of his blood drips. He looks down at it and goes, "Pathetic!" Boom. And you just start to find it hilarious. The situation's just so funny. You hit it. It was an illusion the whole time. This whole thing, he's just a man. Oh, it's so funny, and you fall to the ground laughing.
It's just a prank.
It's just a prank, bro. And then, because you fell to the ground laughing, he's going to just actually march away.
That's fair.
Okay. Let's have none of that.
Tobias, oh, is the monk gonna chase?
I mean, if I could stop him from moving,
It's not your.
yeah.
It's Tobias who.
No.
Actually, Cassius, do you get a save every turn? I believe you do at the end of your turns.
I don't know if it's the end of the beginning.
That's what I'm looking at now. It's probably an ender. Most of them are enders, but then some of them aren't because 5e is mostly consistent, but not all the time. At the end of your turn. So give me a wisdom save.
I will do so. That is a 16.
After that moment, you steel yourself and you're still on the ground, but the effect that was boggling your mind removes.
So, but that's my turn is spent.
That's your whole turn.
All right, well, yeah, that's fine. All right, I managed to collect myself after having a good old chuckle at the situation.
1, 2,
Your ribs kind of hurt.
3,
Well, that's mostly because of
4.
yesterday.
5, 6, 8. Okay, I can just.
Tobias definitely has a black eye right now
5,
from being
6,
punched in
7,
the face the other day.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm going to stab him. So I'm just going to do a running stab. See how that goes.
That's a hit.
Sweet. And then I'm going to do this,
Alright.
my final key point,
Alright.
and punch him. Oh, that's okay.
That's not a hit. That is not a
Okay.
hit either.
So you just like.
And he just starts doing the with the staff.
Oh, he's not dodging. He's just blocking. Okay,
Yeah,
this is weird.
usually they try
I'm
to
not used to
dodge.
this.
You're good at catching them when they dodge. Eleanor.
I'm gonna cleave the one in front of me.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh. I think it's dead.
Yeah, that might be triple its HP actually.
Alright.
You once again make one of these things explode.
I get little pieces all over poor Beirut.
Shields up, it's fine.
He's got twigs in his hair.
Yeah.
Poor
I
boy.
just gave that one a haircut.
Farut. You have one
Well-
behind you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just hit that one behind me, hopefully.
He's gonna be dealing with that the rest of the fight.
I am not gonna hit the one behind me.
It's gonna try and bite at you,
Yeah.
and it does
Yeah.
for 4 damage. He's
Guys.
going to do a thing.
If that little one wins the fight.
Look, it might, because I miss a lot, is the problem.
He takes his sort of axe spear, and as he runs his hands over it, the top of it starts to sort of twist and form into more brambles, and you even see some of the lightning in it. It starts to look just like that tree behind, or it's still glowing with lightning. And then he's going to swing twice. And hit once. The rare D12 usage. For... That is a solid 8 bludgeoning.
Oh, yeah, that's not too bad.
Nah. Well, it's actually 8 slashing.
So,
Yeah, you know, it could be worse. You could have hit the second
I
attack.
thought I was going to get golf clubbed across the room, dead.
He's not as big as he was. Tobias.
All right, I need to stand up, which is half my movement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do that. And then I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Do you have more movement? Because
that's only the one during that one
Yeah,
turn that you use.
fair.
Other than that, it's just
Okay.
I don't want to provoke attacks of opportunity.
and extra damage.
Yeah, I think that's. I will use my action actually to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get here to give Virex some nice flanking.
Yay.
Flank him.
Good. So firstly, ow, and then I stab at him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, it could have been a much more
What the
terrible...
fuck is
The ones today.
That is remarkable.
That is not only a failure, that is a double failure.
Actually insane. You start swinging at him, and he just pushes you in the top of the head with the... He kind of just pushes the axe into your face because you left your defenses wide open, and then you actually see nothing as brambles start growing over you and actually tie you to the ground, and you very quickly whip down backwards, your back hitting the ground with a crack as you are now restrained.
Okay.
Eleanor, you saw that. It looked horrible. It looks like he's just been, like, mummified.
Trying to find a thing for this.
Very unfortunate.
Oh, you already put something on me. Okay.
I also use that one for grapples and restraints and stuff. That's a hit.
What was that?
Yeah.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a real good hit as you use your momentum and swing into him. It's one of the things where he was so busy sort of toying with Beric. He does try to dodge. This is like the first time in a little while you've had a fight with weapons where you get to outplay them, and you do. And you slash right into his side and he roars out like an injured oxen. Brute. Speaking of oxen,
I'm gonna I'm gonna swing my longsword at this little guy and hopefully hit him.
are you? Yes.
Hey.
Will you?
For the same 2 damage. 2 damage. Coming right up. Nice little shave and a haircut. That'll be 10 gold again.
The dice are trying to kill us. So funny.
He's going to attack again. For a 5 damage. It's gone up each turn by 1.
Are you still up?
Yep.
And then he will act. Yep, at this point, it's just fighting. And with Virec kind of restrained there, he turns to Eleanor, who just actually made him bleed. And just sort of roars as he attacks twice with his axe. For first hit, actually will hit. The second one doesn't. But with the first hit, he hits for 14 slashing damage as he actually hacks just completely into your side. This isn't an attack which is glancing, that scratches. No, he axes you in the side. Tobias.
Won't stand. Give you one guess of what's about to happen. I'm gonna short sword him twice.
Please do. Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh.
Nice.
So the first attack is a solid 5 damage. The second attack is 10, so 15 total.
Yeah, that's real good. You come up beside him, and this is a slow, massive fighter. He's still around 8 feet tall. He just can't block both sides of you attacking with the same degree, and you just manage to go shank him in the sides over and over. At this point, his topless body is just coated in blood that is starting to mat and mix into the sort of leafy, mossy fur on some parts of his body. His stance is starting to go limp. Virik, you can use your action to make a strength save.
That's not supposed to happen. I did it, finally! Hey, it's the first time I've done it. Hey!
You break out. That's your action. And then it all sort of crumbles around you.
Okay.
You can't really do much else unless you can do some
I'm not gonna try and get away from him.
Eleanor.
I made sure my advantage was hit this time. I will re-roll the 2.
Oh my god. Oh no.
For 1 less damage.
1 less damage. Brute. Speaking of 1 less damage.
Oh no.
Rude. Just rude.
At this point, Brute, like this thing is climbing over your shield and is just going for the neck.
For my bonus action, first I'm gonna cast Healing Word on myself.
You could do it, Brute.
Yeah, just like a little motivational speech of, don't let this little guy take you down. For 6 HP, and then I'm gonna swing my longsword at it. God damn it!
It's hard to hit something climbing on you, and he's going to attack you.
This is the most epic
And he's gonna
fight,
hit you.
like
Yeah, of course he is.
Only for
Why
2.
would he-
Only for 2. Only for 2. And that's when Revolg attacks. He's going to actually, considering that like he's being attacked from both sides, he is going to swing with 1 cleave at Aelinor and then Virik.
Oh good. Bye-bye.
He hits Aelinor, he hits Virik. He hits Aelinor for... that is 11 points of slashing. And then with the momentum, he's going to keep swinging, and he's going to hit Virik for 12. Just a...
Okay, I'm down.
And both of them fall to the ground.
Oh
And
shit,
then
okay.
he just turns attention to Tobias and,
Shit, are
and
you
does
guys
the
both down?
does the twist of the axe in his hand and just bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah.
Tobias.
So they're both down. Okay. Well,
Maybe one of us should have killed the healer.
there is only one option left, which is gonna be a short sword attack.
Oh!
And the second short sword attack.
Oh.
The duality of man strikes again.
What is this session?
What is going on today?
It's so bad.
I love it. Well, you roll the 20.
Oh. For 10 more damage.
And then, as you you stab him right in the chest, right in the heart, and he's and then brings his staff down with a great speed, and your sword in his chest shatters. The metal just breaking into shards. In him as well. But that sword is kaput.
Gone. All right.
Virik, roll me a death save.
Rip.
1 point of death. Aelinor, roll me a death save. That's 2. Barut, you're grabbing and clawing at this thing. You hear 2 bodies fall. You look back and you see Aelinor on the ground, her neck cut and bleeding, frothy red blood. Virik cut in the side and also doing the same, but not as badly.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna just shout, "Damn it, Aelinor, get up!" As I cast Healing Word on her for 7 points of healing.
So when you feel like your consciousness waning, you hear that.
And then guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna swing my sword at this fucking thing, and I'm gonna miss again.
And it's going to attack at you. And it misses. And it misses. It misses. It's like you shake it off. And it goes...
Yeah, I'm just like, ah!
I like how you're just in range to still keep healing, while you're just like...
I'm having a real hard time today, guys.
This thing has turned to Tobias. It does not see Aelinor there. It is going to attack twice at Tobias. And hit once.
Okay.
For 11 damage. But as he hits, it's very similar to your attack. He swings mightily, and with a boom of thunder, the staff shatters as well.
Okay.
Leaving the axe head somewhere in you.
Problem for later.
And he kind of staggers back and is like, I am blessed this day. In Giant. Not that Virik could hear it anyway. And he kind of spits blood in your face as he does. And it's your
Okay.
turn. 1 sword.
So I only have the 1 sword now, which means I cannot attack twice.
You have a stone scimitar.
Oh, that is true.
I don't think they're
I
light.
didn't pick that up.
That
They're
is
finesse, but I don't
true.
think they're light. So,
Dang.
I got it right here. Scimitars are... Oh, they are light. Go ahead.
Oh!
Hey!
Oh, yeah, they're the same as short swords, but they
Yeah.
cost more.
Yeah, they
And they're
just
not-
look cooler.
They can be
Which is-
used by druids, I think, is like the only
Yeah.
real benefit. But they do
And
the same amount of
pirates.
damage.
Yeah.
All right, well, I will use my item interaction to pull out my stone sword, my stone scimitar, and just give him a look like that you didn't expect me to have a third sword.
Only got 2 hands, but I've got a 3rd sword, if you know what I mean.
And attack. There's a 13 hit.
13 does not hit.
Okay. Here's a question for you. Am I able to hold my second attack until Eleanor stands up?
No, because your second attack is a bonus action, not an
Right.
attack. So no.
Okay. In that case, second attack.
That's a
for
hit.
3. Okay. So he's gonna take 6 more damage. Which is
He's
slashing instead of
still
piercing.
holding on. And actually, when you pull that second sword out, he's like... "Grrr." He doesn't even have anything in his hands anymore, and he's just sort of... You know when you're real mad and you just make fists?
Yeah.
Because that's what he's going to be using. Virik, roll a death save.
Oh no.
2 points of death. Aelinor.
Damn it. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna attack him.
Yeah.
Oh, thank fuck.
Erin, describe your kill.
So I kick myself up from the prone position, throwing my shoulder into him, like kind of pushing him off his balance, and then just bringing my great sword down, cleaving his head right off.
Yep, the body kind of stands for a bit before falling. Maybe you even catch the head because it's midair.
Beautiful.
And the blood sprays and drips. And actually, when he falls, so does the twig creature. It just becomes wood
Thank God.
in your hands.
Good. Good. I'm gonna
Like-
rush over.
like standing there
Rush over
as
to
the
Virik.
corpse falls.
Mhm.
Or
Good job.
Heal
Virik.
health potion to Virik. Okay, roll that real quick.
You don't have to waste the health potion. It's fine. I can use land hands.
Oh, okay.
You,
Well,
you
I was
start
go-
getting it out. She does the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
You can...
Thank
Thank
you.
God.
I'll heal you for the full 10.
Yay.
And with that,
Thank you.
that is
Is he
the
dead?
end of. With is he dead? That's the end of the session. Good job.
Eleanor, I assume, just like holds the head in front of Virik.
All right, so
I'm only-
this is when we talk about who we are, why we are, and why you should care. So why don't we start our circle of shame with Dungeon Papa over here. Let me find some
What
happy
up?
music while we do.
That's me, Josiah, or Dungeon Dad, or Dungeon Papa if you're on Twitter, because Dungeon Dad was already taken on Twitter, which was super cool. Thanks to Bill in Wisconsin for that one. But yeah,
I'm so happy that it's a Bill and he's from Wisconsin. All of that works so well.
maybe I should email him and be like, I'll give you $10 if I can have. He made a tweet like 7 years ago. But yeah, yeah, that's me. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about monsters, specifically old school D&D monsters. I do conversions of them to 5th edition, make stat blocks, all that jazz. Talk about other D&D related stuff sometimes, so that's what I usually do. Yeah, this week's video, which was supposed to come out on Friday, but is coming out like tomorrow morning, is about Jannies, which are neutral genies.
Yes! I'm excited about that one.
Stat block's all done. I just have to finish editing the video. But yeah, they turned out pretty cool. They're pretty neat. Next week's video I have not decided yet, but we'll get there. Mystery cliffhanger there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And I play D&D on the stream, so follow me on Twitter if you want to be a part of that.
You should. Next in the circle is Aaron.
I'm
You,
Aaron.
you prepared an action to
I did.
wave
I was
there.
like, wait a second, am I next? I don't know. I'm
You
like
are.
90% sure.
Yeah.
I'm Aaron. I play here on Sundays/Mondays. And I play
It is
on
Monday. for me.
Jarviskjir channel on Fridays, which is also super fun. And I'm super active in their Discord, False Pretenses, so we can chat there.
Discord link down below. Be a part of it. We have a spoiler chat where you can discuss this game. It's never as busy as I want it to be. People are discussing Scott's shitty Witcher game, but not a far better experience. Please discuss. Please clap. But also we talk about all sorts of things, D&D rules. If you're doing your own game, you can ask questions about advice from DMs all over the Dungeons and Dragons spectrum, whether you're lawful lore like me or chaotic rules or chaotic horny like me. There's all sorts of things you should do on Discord. Someone who is Tesh.
I definitely is. Hi, I'm Tesh of the Tesh Tube on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Twitter is where you want to follow me to get find out what I'm doing wherever, because Twitter is always up to date. And you can find me here. You can find me eventually on Diamond Worm's channel at 8 p.m. EST on Wednesdays. And you can find me on Matt's channel, Tantus' channel, at the Dracovan Empire on Thursdays. I almost said Fridays, so it's Friday for me, at 8 p.m. EST as well. I got it right for once.
Good job, champ. Speaking of the champ, it's Will.
Hi.
And that Twitter
I'm
name
Will.
is not accurate anymore because he
That's
changed it on
correct.
me.
Yeah, I did do that.
I'm not
yeah.
changing it out of spite and laziness.
Mostly the latter, but yeah, fair. So new Twitter is at Will N Graham, as in Will and then the letter N and then Graham. The names that are there, just an N in the middle, and then without the WBG, because I made this as complicated as I possibly could to explain it. Anyways, that's where you can find me on Twitter and twitch.tv/WinterBearGames. Again, still working towards affiliate, so any help there is very much appreciated. The other stuff is I am actually backing out of the Wednesday show with Worm that I was going to be on with Tesh just because of health reasons and time reasons. And I'm writing a book right now, and that's taking up a lot of my time. It's kind of a big thing. But you can also find me on Tantus's channel on Thursdays at the Dracovan Empire at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What specific time is that?
Thank you for that. And Fridays, I'm also on the Eberron show now officially, which is really cool.
Yeah!
New character was introduced.
Yeah,
On
our
Friday.
characters are going to be the best of friends, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Your character encourages my character's weird death thing.
Yeah, my character is a total enabler.
That's literally... There's the only person in that party who isn't an enabler is Reich, because Stalbor has become far more chaotic since spending a lot of time with Kieran. Anyway, I'm me. I'm Ollie. You can find me here and at Twitter at Twitch and Twitter at olirant. I do this show on Sundays, which I love. You can tell from the way that I smile all the time, and not because if I don't, they'll find out. But I also run another show on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. BST, which is a Stars Right Number show called Stars Right Number Ardent, which has just lost a player and may be gaining a player soon. That is a game, if you don't know what it is a sci-fi system in a setting of my creation. If you like the way I do lore and world building here, I do it in all of my games. Every setting I make and every setting I play in is a rich and detailed world where half the shit is never going to come up, but it you know, that's kind of my thing, that's my specialty. If you miss some of this show, you can catch it at midnight BST, and all of the recordings, not only can you watch these VODs here for free, you can also, they're going to go up on YouTube in a higher quality than the VODs, usually the next day, unless I am hungover or tired or forgetful. In which case, it'll be the day after that. Yes, you can also find me on this channel at usually 9 p.m. on days that aren't Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, doing currently Rimworld. When Rimworld ends, I will either play 2 Point Hospital or Graveyard Keeper. I'm probably going to have to play Graveyard Keeper because Doxy's been playing it and it looks completely up my alley in the most infuriating way. But I also want to play 2 Point Hospital because it is the spiritual successor to Theme Hospital, which was one of those childhood games I was not allowed to play. I had to watch my sister play. So of course, good memories. And good memories are what we make here. This show is funded by my Patreon, which is linked down below. If you give a certain amount of monies, you get to make NPCs. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, and thanks for hanging out. We will see you in a week. I have to press some buttons now.